like you said, yoga, Pilates, meditation, it's all becoming the norm now for a lot of people, a lot of companies. But society is geared to love the extrovert. Those are the people who run the companies.
The life of the party.
Yeah, they're the life of the party. Studies have shown that society is equipped more to deal with extroverts than introverts.
Because introverts are boring.
Well, would you?
We are boring. Am I boring? I'm not boring. I don't think you're boring.
That might be more of a stereotype, because when I think of the type of leaders of companies that I would respect, I would look at a Bill Gates, right? He doesn't strike me as an extrovert. I'm not saying that he's my favorite, but the people that I look at that are in those positions, they tend to not display those types of behaviors or personality characteristics that would be attached to an extrovert. So even with you, you don't appear to be an extrovert, in my opinion, but neither does Bill Gates. Oprah does. Oprah has that kind of vibe, but at the same time, I kind of see her as being off camera. I don't think she's like jumping around.
Hey,
I feel like she's going
real corny,
right? She's probably very quiet and reserved, and probably doing like a Barack Obama. Yeah. This guy goes into a room. I mean, in the book Becoming, I happen to be aware of parts of the book, and Michelle talks about this guy goes into a room with a whole bunch of newspapers and magazines, and she just leaves him in there. Don't bother him, rather. And he just does his thing, reading and absorbing and taking time to think through whatever's going on in his life, in the world, and maybe where he's wanting to go next. That is his downtime to be just alone, which some might say, oh, that's weird, man. He's got to be an introvert. But at the same time, the dude comes out like, bam, he just, Superman, the cape is on, the wind blowing, and you in the house. How's that happening? The dude went into his bat cave.
Oh, yeah.
So that could be very well, the person who is more of a minimalist in all areas of their lives, so that they can have the focus to be able to do what they need to do, say what they need to say, be in and out, and make the impact that is unforgettable.
That's a hard
And at
lifestyle.
the same time, be the extrovert when they need to be, and the introvert when they be the introvert when they need to be, and the extrovert when they have to be.
And I think that's a little bit of me. Yeah.
So, do you think Barack still smoke weed?
Yep.
See, I'm telling you.
You know what? Be quiet.
No, I'm telling you. I'm for
Do
real.
not talk about my president.
No.
We're not talking about him smoking weed.
He okay
on this station? We're not.
Listen, man.
I think he is.
I think he's still chiefing.
Yeah.
That's what getting by.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't reading no magazines. I got that smoke thing to keep the smoke coming out.
You know what?
I do think that there's something very special about his ability to be able to handle
he's so
the pressure.
unbothered.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
he
what
is
he
just
seems unbothered.
completely at peace.
He stopped the cigarettes.
He don't. Yeah, he did.
He stopped the
Yeah, he
cigarettes.
But it has nothing to do with weed.
There's
He
no
got
vibration
the
in this
old
man's
weed.
voice. He ain't shaking ever.
He like, what China say?
Right?
I think it's. Oh, be quiet.
What they say?
Sorry,
oh,
Mr.
Russia
President.
Yes,
bad.
sorry, Mr.
I'll tell you
President.
what. I'll tell you what. Tell
You sound like George more than you sound.
Right.
He probably
tell Joe.
he had a different strand.
Tell Joe.
Right?
Tell Joe to call me.
Tell Don. I said I'm coming to get my seat back.
In Jesus' name. I wish that can happen.
Yeah.
I'd be glad when they pass a law that say you president as long as you voted out.
Ooh.
That would be.
No, 4 8 years. You remain
But I don't
president
know,
until
because
you
the
voted out.
state of America now, that
We
will
be
come to
switching
bite
up
us
all
in
the
the
time.
butt. That will come to bite us in the butt.
Well, no, wait till the good president get in there. And he passed it.
And then he stop it right there.
That'd be dope. It's like you the president of the United States. You make all these changes. You got everything going. Everything's working. And here it is. It's like coaching a football team. You got a football team. It's a loose team. You're not expected to win, right? So I'm coaching you guys, and I got to get you to jail with her. You got to jail. So now next year come, y'all gelling together. So here it is, adding some more people on the team. Mm-hmm. You guys are gelling together.
Yeah.
So they fire me as the coach, and they add a new coach. Now you got to know a whole nother playbook. So y'all, everything switches up. So now you're going back to
democracy. That's the way it's been forever.
I don't like democracy.
I don't know if we should go. I don't know if we should stick with democracy.
No, I don't like democracy.
But your options would be what? Dictatorship and monarchy. But monarchy is not something that's really here, which is why I roll with the kingdom of God.
Okay.
I wish we all did.
Yeah. Clearly.
This might be a little easier.
That's the only way to get through this
democracy.
It's all about those electoral votes. We need to do something about those, because clearly if we went by the vote of the people,
that's what
Mrs. Clinton would be our president.
That's what doesn't make this a democracy.
And that would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
So if it was a true democracy, we wouldn't have the electoral college.
Right.
Because the extrovert and introverts that are not being talked about right now, but are being talked about, are in political positions that are having an impact on everything that we're talking about, which flows down into our corporate America, in addition to now our communities, our homes, and now we're trying to figure out who's going to run the house.
Yeah.
And more importantly, who's running you? Who's running me? Because that's where it all comes back to. Where does the authority begin and end? And right now, we're trying to figure out, if I'm an introvert, can I be accepted in your extroverted world? While the world is perverted.
What'd you say the name of that word was again?
Ambivert.
Ambivert.
Sound like that drug they got out with all them side effects.
Ambient.
Well, it does make sense.
Ambient. Ambivert.
Balance.
Yeah.
Of the two. So,
Oh, you're so smart, Cam.
Sorry.
I'm millennial. She's so smart.
It's the
Y'all
African
gonna quit
symbol.
dogging our millennials, okay?
We the
best thing moving.
It's the African symbol on the shirt.
That's what it's giving her power.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Unk I am.
Eternal power.
Unk I am. Yeah.
Y'all a mess. Y'all can quit picking on me.
Yeah.
But it's a good point.
It is.
Good point.
That was a very good point.
Yeah.
It has some
I'm all
similarities.
about language.
Yeah.
It just made me think about Dre showing us his video about words and how people screw them up. But if you think about it, English is the hardest language for foreigners or other people to learn.
Because they thinking like those guys. Like, if... What is it? Moose,
foot and feet,
moose and
meese,
moose and meese. But it
meese.
can be goose and geese, and they don't understand it.
We have no,
So they go talk.
Don't do that.
No, I'm saying that's
but we have so many misunderstandings within our own households, and sometimes you can have misunderstandings personally in your own mind because you just don't understand the language. You don't understand the words and where they came from, how they were intended to be used, what they really mean.
But we don't even understand it as English speakers.
I mean, Trevor Noah, he's got a comic stand-up bit that is just hilarious. When he talks about how we as Americans will take words that don't match to save your life. I mean, to break down a word and give an abbreviation of the word pound makes no sense.
LBS.
How is that, right? And he brings it to our attention as if we weren't ever going to say anything about it. We just take it. Ounces. What? There's no Z in the word at all, but we use it in the abbreviation. It's the same thing. So it confuses us just in our conversation. It doesn't match what's coming out of our mouths when our actions are saying OZ, but I'm saying I spell it OUNCES. It makes us automatically like a liar. I can't trust you. If I'm from a different country and you tell me this is how you spell pounds, I can't trust you.
That brings us back to the video.
Y'all know I got to give the politically correct. I feel like I'm not doing a video. Why you always correcting us? But so LB is their abbreviation for the Latin word Libra, which of course, if you talk about astrology, Libra is the balance, the scales, right? So a lot of our words have Latin and Greek
descent, origin.
Yeah. So It also stood for the ancient Roman unit of measure, libra pondo, which translation means a pound by weight. So that's how we got the LBS for pounds.
So explain mouse, mice, house, heist.
So if you go back to Roman time, I really don't know.
That's
foot,
ignorant.
feet, or foots.
Yeah.
I like foots. Hey,
Yeah.
I just stubbed my foots. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm gonna keep that one.
Don't do that.
When you got your sock on,
it's just
foot.
foot.
But when you got your toes hanging out, it's feet. What? That is just crazy.
See, from this conversation alone, people would not know that Nick is an introvert.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
But I was thinking,
this is
listen,
a growth.
Because we have something coming up in July, and I literally sit in my bed and I start sweating.
You nervous about it?
Of being in
She's
front
the
of
main
hundreds
talker.
of people like that. Now, I've done trial sermons. I've taught, but this is like a different arena.
different.
I need you not to be nervous about
Now,
this.
here's
Like, I'm gonna need ice water, ice packs, a whole lot of deodorant.
Why would you tell us this?
now we talking about personal summers, or we talking about nervousness?
All of it.
Anxiety,
All of it.
That's right. Hello,
It's a
people.
wrap.
Thank you for coming out
Thank
to
you
the
for
trip
yeah.
podcast.
Now
Oh
I
my
know
goodness.
I met
It's that
someone.
bad?
It's that
Yeah.
bad.
I know someone who has explained to me that they have a certain chemistry with certain people.
Yeah.
Where
Or you
when
like
they're in the presence of their significant other,
Calm.
they are total extroverts. Can't wait to talk, to find out how their day was, what's going on in your mind as far as the future, the vision. Let's talk, baby. Let's do these things, right? But when they get in public, they're sought after, but they don't feel the interest that they have with that significant other because they feel like their energy is being drawn out of them, or
Choosing the right mate
absorbed
is
and
so
just
essential.
sucked up.
And I'm
Right.
telling you, it is really when I tell you I'm tired. Do you notice that when you're out and people come up to you and you're like, hey, and you turn around and I'm slowly inching away in the other direction?
Yeah, I hate it.
It's
Yeah.
it drain no,
But
it
you
really
are.
drains
But what you
me.
miss is that for him, when they're happy to see him, you are a joy, a pleasure. You're like the better part of everything that he's wearing.
I
and he
understand
gets
that.
to introduce that
I
to
understand
them,
that.
and you going the other way.
But after I need a nap.
Okay, that's another. Then
gotta
y'all need to talk
recharge.
about how long the
Man,
time
the
is.
word
Y'all
going
spend
in
there.
out of
I need
town.
I need to go and recharge.
Yeah.
And even coming from work, he doesn't realize that when you're talking to people all day, fixing people's problems
You
all
want to
day,
be quiet for like an hour.
when I get in a car, it's calming for me to do this because I don't have to.
Yeah.
And he's like, turn the phone
get
off,
to
and
you
he's
all day,
having
girl.
this conversation, and it's like, wah wah,
Message me.
wah, 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 wah. And it's, I just need a minute.
Yeah.
However I do it, I need a minute
So,
to.
how do you feel about the translation? Because that language is communicating something that you're not intending at all.
Yeah.
But the way it translates is something that's completely
the way it
discomforting.
translates is that he's uncomfortable by it.
You know what?
We're not gonna get
We
into
ain't
our
gonna talk
marriage
about
stuff.
this on
We're not
air.
gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Not on air.
Wait till we
It's a
say
whole nother
cut.
segment, right? It's a whole nother episode.
We're going to take
Talk
a commercial
about
break and we'll be
Are not
right
in the
back.
room. We're going to talk about the ones outside the room.
Absolutely. But you know what? Seriously, even after doing the show, when you all leave, I go upstairs for 10 minutes because I just have to.
I thought that was just me. After we're done here, I go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
No, it's listen.
I go home and
Soon
nap
as
for at
y'all
least 3
leave,
hours.
You see that seat right there?
You
It's
out.
a wrap.
Yeah.
So maybe,
But that is not to be unexpected. When you speak before people, there are those who are desiring what you're saying.
And that is
And
when
that's
you brought in. I can be an extrovert when I have to be.
Right.
That
But you're
comes
also giving of yourself in a way you're supposed to feel that. You're not doing something here for no reason. You're wanting to give to your listener something of value, something that's coming from experience, You went through a lot to get the